Hello and welcome to Buy the Dip, Hold the Rip, a Pokemon investing channel. My name is Mike, and let me just start off by saying, if you are here, giving me a few minutes of your time, number one, thank you so much, because time is the most valuable thing we all have. So thank you. If you can leave a like, a comment, subscribe. Comment doesn't have to be positive, negative, I don't care. You might want me to discuss a certain set, a certain investing strategy, whatever you feel comfortable with. Just please, and thank you guys very much. And let's get into it. So the number one question I feel like I need to answer right now in my first video is why, right? Why start uploading content about the Pokemon investing sphere, right? Or the market when we're kind of at a pullback right now? And my answer is, it's in the name of the channel, right? We buy the dip, we hold the rip. So we're dipping right now. Right now we're buying more product than ever. We are making content. We are really digging into the hobby when it seems like a lot of people are, down on it, or, just not as hyped about it, and that's really why I'm making this video. Come to think about it, right? Is that just like you guys, I consume a fair amount of Pokemon investing, right? The Pokemon, what's it called? A PokeTuber, right? The PokeTube, right? I consume a fair amount of it, right? And have you guys noticed that in the last few weeks, since the market has taken a dip, right? Our favorite investors, right? Trust me, the favorite one, the ones with the most views, right? Everyone seems a little more, I don't want to say pessimistic. I'll just say this, okay? The smiles, right, on your favorite PokeTuber aren't as big anymore, right? During the boom, the biggest boom ever, right? Everybody called it the biggest boom ever in Pokemon history, which it could have been. I don't know. Maybe I'm new here, right? 4 months ago when they were making content, the smiles were big, right? You saw all their teeth when they smiled. The last couple of weeks with the content, people are a little, the smiles aren't as big, right? The laughs aren't as loud, right? The smiles just, it doesn't seem like our favorite PokeTubers are as happy or optimistic about the market, right? Which to me makes zero sense, okay? And let me explain why, okay? So I've been back in the hobby, collecting, investing, right, for a little bit less than a year. Let's call it 10 months, okay? And so I'm brand new, right? In a hobby that is 30 years old, I am brand new, less than a year into it, okay? Which, pay attention now, right? Listen to what I'm about to say right now, okay? In the last year, all right, through the boom of last, let's say last fall, okay, summer, fall, around December, January, right, there's a little dip, right? And then came February, March, April, May, right? The biggest boom ever in Pokemon, okay? Listen to what I'm about to say. In the last year, I have not been more excited. I have not been... this is the first time where I have that warm feeling in me. You know what I mean? Where I have never been more excited to buy product, ever. I am more excited today when the market is dipping to buy product than I have in the last year, right? The biggest boom ever. I am more excited today looking at Destined Rivals, looking at Prismatic Evolutions, those SP... Listen, I don't get it, right? That's kind of what this video is about. I do not get where the hype went, right? I get it. If you're in the market to flip the last 3 sets, I get why the hype is gone from your smiles, right? But for the PokeTubers that preach, for the PokeTubers that scoff when people say, I'm in it for 5 to 10 years, for those ones that scoff and they might think like, oh, nobody's really in it for that long, right? For the PokeTuber that sits there and says, nobody's in it for as long as me, right? I'm a true, head to the pavement, here for the long term, hold the line. For that guy to not be as hyped as I am right now, it doesn't make sense to me at all. Because I'm looking at the opportunity in the market right now. I am looking at the sets that are out right now. And you know what? Maybe it's because I'm so fresh and new to the hobby that I might have like that beginner's, like the new guy mentality, right? Like the rookie spirit, where everything's just, gung ho and happy and optimistic, right? Maybe that's it, okay? Because I cannot understand how you can look at today's market, today's sets, and think or not smile from ear to ear. I don't get it, okay? Because let me tell you this. I look at Destined Rivals right now. I look at a lot of Sword and Shield stuff. I look at Paldean Evolved. Just to name a few. We can get more in depth later, right? But I look at these sets right now, right? Prismatic Evolutions. And the amount of optimism, right? The amount of just, I don't know what to call it, that I see in the market is incredible right now. And I am so excited to be buying product right now. And it's not because I'm buying it at all-time lows, right? Because right now, Destined Rivals ETBs, $140 is like, guys, come on. We have to be buying these right now at $140, okay? Destined Rivals booster boxes, here's the thing, right? Right now, I am buying all Destined Rivals, pretty much exclusively Destined Rivals. And I get it. Booster boxes, what is it, like 550, right? Somewhere around there, $500, whatever, right? A lot of them go on sale in the UK right now because they are getting slammed with Destined Rival booster boxes. So a lot of the ones that I'm buying right now are from overseas for around, I don't know, 500, 550, but a ballpark, right? High 400, right? And listen, I'm buying this stuff knowing or expecting, right? I don't know anything that's going to happen in the future, but I'm expecting Pokemon to print more booster boxes. I have accepted that in my head that in a year from now or in 8 months from now, right, that a Destined Rivals booster box could be $300, okay? A ETB could be $100, right? Even though that is how I view it in my head, right, I am still buying them right now. I am as happy as ever to buy product right now, okay? Because in the last year, right, in the last 6 months, buying anything, you are buying them at all-time highs, right? And just so I don't sound like I'm contradicting you at all, right? I'm not the guy that's saying, I perfectly plan the bottom of, the dip of Destined Rivals or of any set, right? Black Bolt, White Flare, right? Even though I was, okay? But that's a video for another day, okay? Right? I'll tell you guys right now, my investing strategy for Destined Rivals, okay? ETBs under $225, I buy, okay? And it's been like that. I started buying about a month ago, right? Whenever ETBs were around $200, okay? They fell from like 270 or like 300. They fell to like 200, and I started buying them. Booster boxes under $12.50, I'm gonna buy. And let's see, what else am I probably booster bundles under $100, I'll buy. And what else? I think that's it. Right? I bought a couple of those tins, which I like, but I'm not going heavy in those. Half booster boxes. I'll probably end up buying under like 400, right? And notice what I said, right? Booster boxes under $12.50. $1,250. That is how long I'm going to be buying these booster boxes. And I'm okay with that, right? Because I know that long term, if it performs anything like, right, in the ballpark of Evolving Skies, of these other big booster boxes of past eras, then $1,250 in the long run, right, in that 5 to 10 years, 3 to 6 years, 7 to 10 years, right, whatever you're here for, it'll be viewed as a decent buy, okay? And keep in mind, I am saying $1,250 while also saying that I am prepared for these booster boxes to potentially be selling for $300, $350 over the next year, right? Like, I am a true believer in the Pokemon TCG, right? And right now, while there is a dip, again, I could not be more excited to buy this stuff, right? I could not be more excited to look at my, I use Shiny, right? A lot of people use Collector, right? Whatever app you use, I could not be more excited to look at the app and see my portfolio dipping as I am buying, right? So let me share with you must buys right now. Number one, okay, absolute number one, Prismatic SPC. Prismatic SPC. Guys, listen, okay. Prismatic Evolutions, S tier set from the Scarlet and Violet era, I'm sorry, right? I'm not saying it's the best set, right? Because everybody, it's all subjective, right? So it's not my favorite set from the Scarlet and Violet era, but it is an S tier set, right? In my humble opinion, right? Again, this is my opinion. I think that the SPCs are the best product from this S tier set, right? So you have the best product of one of the best sets, in my opinion, that I think is going to give you the biggest returns, okay? Now, let me say this, all right? This is kind of a tangent, all right? One thing about the Pokemon investing space, especially when you go on YouTube, right? When I got in about a year ago, okay? Every channel, okay? Just about every channel, right? Buy Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. Buy Prismatic Evolution ETBs. ETB, 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 ETB. Oh my god, like mockingbirds, right? Like whatever the birds are that repeat whatever you say, right? Everybody. But what do we do here? We don't follow all of the trends, especially the biggest trends. Rarely do we ever follow them here, okay? So, when every channel was saying, buy Prismatic ETBs, okay? They're gonna be the best performing, right? We were also buying booster bundles, right, at $40. We were also buying figurine collections at $100, $120, right? Whatever they were at the time, right? Again, I'm not the guy that says I buy at the, I'm not trying to flex on anybody. Hey, I bought at the very low of the market, right? Because a lot of PokeTubers will say, oh, I bought a lot of ETBs, but I bought them when they were, I bought them for the few months when they were, or the month that they were, $70, $80, whatever, $90, right? So I'm still up X amount of whatever, right? I don't care, all right? We're buying Prismatic Evolutions, figurine collections at 100, 120, right? A few of those. What else? I didn't buy any of the Tyranitar boxes, even though they were on my radar, right? But we bought booster bundles at $40, $45, whatever they were. Figurine collections, because I looked at the product, right? Using my eyes, and I said, wow, this thing looks cool, right? That's one of the upsides about me being new to the hobby, right? About growing up in the 90s, right? I know what it used to look like, And I know what it looks like now. And let me say one thing, okay? Before anybody dogs on the hobby of what it might be now, it is so much better than what we had in the 90s. All right, let's get that out of the way, okay? If you went back in time, all right, and you showed me as a 90s kid, right, that had the base set, right, opening a pack or two, right? We didn't open that much back in the day, right? And you brought me a Prismatic Evolutions figurine collection, or you brought me a Prismatic Evolutions super premium collection, I would lose my mind, okay? When you see an SPC in person, the display alone, I mean, is so nice. Okay, you might see it online and you see the Eevee with, you know, like the little rainbow color and the white box art, right, whatever. But when you see that thing in person and the glimmer and the size of the box, just listen, guys, use your head, right? Use your brain, right? And when everybody's saying to just buy ETBs, to buy cases of ETBs, ETBs, don't buy these boxes, they take up too much space, right? It is my recommendation to buy a little bit of everything and a lot of bit of what you believe in, right? So Prismatic, my biggest chunk or my biggest allocation of Prismatic is in the SPCs because I believe in those the most. The way they look, the size of them, they really look like a premium quality product, you know. And then I probably, so let's say that's like 30%, 35% of my allocation of Prismatic is SPCs. Let's say another 30 is like ETBs. Let's say the remaining like whatever 30%, I didn't do the math, 25, 20, whatever 30% left is between figurine collections, Pokemon Center ETBs, booster bundles, right? And because I did that, my growth in Prismatic Evolutions over the last year has far exceeded somebody that just bought 10 cases of ETBs, right? So yeah, so that's just a little tangent going off on, but I'm gonna do that for every set. Again, Destined Rivals, I am buying booster boxes, half booster boxes, booster bundles. I have a few tins, ETB. Oh my god, I love the ETBs, guys. I mean, it's just, man, I mean, just everything in the TCG today is so good, right? And that's why I don't get why anybody's feeling down about it, right? I am so bullish right now, okay? Buying Destined Rivals, buying, I'm gonna start probably going between Destined Rivals and catching up on Paldean Evolved, because that's another set that is just like, guys, we have $500 Paldean Evolved booster boxes right now. $140 Destined Rival ETBs right now. Prismatic Evolutions. Oh, that's another thing I bought a lot of Prismaticas. The surprise boxes. You know, it's like the surprise box and the booster bundle. You know, I got a fair amount of those when they came out, and I mean, those things are like 130% or whatever it is, like well over 100% appreciation already. Guys, just man, there's so much to buy right now. And there's so much that you still can buy. We're at a dip right now. A lot of singles look good, guys. I bought my very first slab, okay? I told myself I would only buy sealed product, and then I saw a PSA 10 Zekrom 172, right? Or Zekrom EX 172, right? Which is the black-white rare for like 40% off market, PSA 10. I mean, I literally cannot find a better deal out there, right? And it's gonna be the PSA authenticity guaranteed, right? So I bought it from them. Then they have to send the card or the slab to PSA. Once it gets authenticated, right, they send it to me. That's my very first slab, right? And it's like, you look at black and white, like, okay, how about this? Look, we go over the sets that I personally have bought or will be buying heavily right now into the next 2 years, 3 years, right? Look at the sets right now in just Scarlet and Violet. Okay, let's just look at Scarlet and Violet. We're not even talking Evolving Skies, Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, right? Let's just look at Scarlet Violet right now. Okay. And this is in my opinion, right? You guys might have your own favorite sets. This is my opinion. Paldean Evolved. And I know I'm going to miss some, okay? Pokemon 151. Paldean Fates. Oh my gosh, what's next? What's after Paldean Fates? Prismatic Evolutions. Destined Rivals. Black Bolt. White Flare. What? 7 sets. Okay, that I myself would call a minimum A tier. Okay, and you guys might call me crazy for that. Okay, in my mind, every set that I just named, 7 sets, and who knows, I might be missing one. Okay, in just one era alone, I would consider A or S tier, right? If we dip into Mega Evolutions as well, you have Phantasmal Flames, right? Ascended Heroes, the 30th anniversary, and then a possible Mega Evolution tag team. Come on, guys. Come on. How do you make content and you are not like thrilled, overwhelmed with excitement right now in this market? I don't get it, okay? Because right now, again, we need to be buying. Could it dip more? Yes. Could Pokemon print more? Yes. Should Pokemon print more Prismatic Evolutions, Destined Rivals? What else? Ascended Heroes, Phantasmal Flames. Yes, 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 yes. Yes to everything, right? Because Pokemon they're a company. They're here to make profit. And so I would expect any company that if you have something that makes money, right? And you can make more of it, then like that's a no-brainer. You make more of it. Like a lot of the people that are saying right now, buy Prismatic Evolutions because this is like the last few drops, right? The last 5 or 6 drops of ETBs, of SPCs will more than likely be the last of it. Why would it be the last of it? Why, when Prismatic still has a little bit less than a year in rotation, why would Pokemon print less of it? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, I think it's wishful thinking, but for someone to sit there and say so confidently, like, hey, I think this is the last of it, it doesn't make sense to me, right? If anything, Pokemon should print more Prismatic Evolutions, because regardless of how much they print and how much they make, a super premium collection, which only costs, what is it, $90 at retail, instantly, the same day, goes on the internet, right, hits the market for $270, right? That's like, guys, that's almost $200 instant. Why wouldn't they print more of it if it would just make them more money? They are a company, right? So is Prismatic done printing? Not if I were in charge. I'd be printing more for the next 6 months, right? I would be printing more Destined Rivals. Now, the argument is that Prismatic is much like the most popular set in the last few years, and I would agree, and that is why they continue to print it. Am I mad? No. Am I surprised? No. Will I be surprised if SPCs get printed more and then they're like 240? No. Would I like that? Yes. Would I be mad if my Prismatic SPC average buy-in is, let's say it's around 270 or 280? Would I be mad if they printed them more and more and more, and in 4 months the market price of an SPC is 220? No. I would love it. Trust me, I would love it. Why? Because then I buy more, right? And that's how it should be with everything, guys. So right now, again, guys, like, this is awesome. Sorry about that. Let me get some water. Again, guys, in the last year, I've never been more excited. Again, what I am buying right now, I am going very heavy into Destined Rivals. I'm gonna start buying Paldean Evolved. I haven't bought any yet. You know, I've had to do a lot of catching up, right? I don't have all the money in the world. I'm not one of these guys that goes to a card show every weekend and buys, like, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of product, cases of this, cases of that. That's not me, right? I can't do that, you know. I am very blessed, right? I'm very thankful to have a family, a toddler, a wife who is very, very pregnant, guys. Look at these. You guys see these right here? No sleep, okay? No sleep. Because I have a toddler, right, 2 years old, and I have a very, very, very 8 months pregnant wife, right? Dogs. I have a house, right? Which in today's day and age means like I'm like a millionaire or something, right? Like that's what all of the YouTube comments and Reddit boards say, right? If you own a house, you're like a millionaire, right? Guys, no, I'm not, right? I'm just, you know, I have a house that needs maintenance. I have cars that I fix myself. I have a life that I am very thankful that I've worked very hard for, and that I love, okay, and that I do not take for granted. And that's where I spend a lot of my time, a lot of my money, doing stuff around the house, doing stuff with my family, enjoying my life, you know. And on the paycheck or on a month, if I can afford, let's say 2 booster boxes, right, of like, if I can get 1 Paldean Evolved and 1 Destined Rivals booster box a month, okay, I would be happy. All right. Now, if I work some extra overtime, if I, you know, cut back on things here and there, maybe I can throw in an extra ETB here and there. I can throw in, you know, if something comes my way, something small, you know, maybe I can buy it. And that's kind of where I am now. Will I always be there? No. Some months will I have less to spend? Yeah, I got a baby on the way, right? Like it's summer. We're all out of the house. The cars need a lot of maintenance. I just changed the head gasket in my car. My other car needs a new timing chain, right? Like these are all parts of my life that, you know, I'm not the guy that has unlimited money to spend on Pokemon, right? So I don't want to come off that way. I buy what I can when I can. And right now, guys, during this dip in the market, like, I spent this month's budget on that Zekrom EX 172 PSA 10. Why? Because I like it, right? A lot of people, trust me, a lot of people don't like the card. A lot of people don't like Black Bolt White Flare. A lot of people would say, why would you buy that card right now, right? But listen, guys, you have to enjoy the hobby, right? And more importantly, you know, aside from just, let's say, like your investment portfolio, right? You do need, right? And I do have a personal collection, right? With counting the Zekrom slab, it'll probably be 6 things now, right? And that'll be the collection that even after I'm out of the hobby, I will always have those 10 things, right? 15 things. I will always keep, just as a reminder, that I can have in my home office or my bedroom, right? Wherever I end up putting it long term. Those will just be a few things, right? So yeah, so that's my first video. I know I went on a little long, hopefully not too long, right? But that's really the point of it, guys. How can we be doom and gloom right now? How can we not have the most excitement, you know, in my short time here, less than a year, right? We went through the biggest boom. Again, guys, we went through the biggest boom ever in the Pokemon hobby, right? But somehow, right now, I am the most optimistic. I am the most bullish. I am happier than ever to buy these products right now. Okay, and just because I said that I'm specifically buying Destined Rivals right now, and that I will probably start my allocation in Paldean Evolved, right? That does not mean there's other sets that aren't a good deal right now. That does not mean that I shouldn't be buying other sets. Again, that's just where I'm at this point of my investing, I guess, journey, right? Right now, that's where I'm at. And I am as bullish as ever. And I cannot wait, okay? You guys might not like this, right? Or it might sound too cliche. I cannot wait till we have an actual crash, okay? Because if you think I'm happy now, wait till that day comes. I will be smiling ear to ear, guys. But again, thank you. This is my first video. Please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, anything, guys. Thank you for watching.